Peace to the family. Now, I'm sitting here looking at a lot of the stuff that's been going on with the Jaron Boots Ennis situation with the type of opponent that he chooses to fight. And I get it. I really do understand what people are talking about. But I'm going to let you guys know something that's very, very shocking to me. What's shocking to me is I can understand the criticism. Jaron Boots Ennis has 35 fights. He's 34-0, 30 knockouts, and don't nobody know who the hell he fought. I get that. That's a fair criticism, fair critique. I remember a while ago when Boots Ennis and Boots, they used to be on the Showtime side of things connected to the PBC. They were never signed to the PBC. And according to what Boots said, they were never signed to Showtime, but he was just being loyal to them because he fought on Showtime platforms. They used to make mockery of another fighter, black fighter, said he wasn't fighting anybody and all that stuff there. We're not going to say any names. However, now Jaron Boots Ennis, his situation is a lot worse because the guy who they was criticizing years ago, I mean the pro, Jaron Boots Ennis' team and the Pro Boots fan club, the guy who they was criticizing was at least fighting champions and multi-division world champions and undisputed and stuff like that. Now Boots is getting that same backlash, but worse. And the reason why it's worse is because of the number of fights that he's had and don't nobody know who he fought. So now what's more shocking to me is when I see, channels, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. I see channels like Blue Blood Sports TV, which he's pretty much he's pro boxing, but he's pro Boots as well. He called Boots the Phenom. He's the only one that I know that calls him that. And when I look under the comment section, I see pro Boots channels, comment section where these guys are ripping Boots. And what's really shocking to me is when I go to another YouTube channel, shout out to YSM over there in Philly. I don't know the guy, but shout out to him as well, him and Greg Hackett and all those guys. And I do know that those guys pretty much are kind of like a PR firm, or not a firm, but they do a lot of the PR for Boots. I get that. I understand that. That's their guy that's supposed to ride with him. They're supposed to cap for him. I understand it, right? But what gets me is when I look under the comment section of a pro Philadelphia channel that's pro Boots, and they're ripping Boots. And you have people from Philly that's in this chat, in the comment section. You have people that's from just the state of Pennsylvania that's in this chat. You have people that say, look, man, I'm a fan of Boots, but I'm tired of this here, man. I can't keep capping for him and stuff like that. That's what's shocking to me. Because normally what happens is you can see outsiders, people from the outside who are not fans of you, dissing you and making mockery of you. But then when people who are fans of you turn on you and start dissing you and making mockery of you, that's when I start to look like, damn, hold on now, wait a minute. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. So the reason why I say that is this. Do you guys think that the criticism that Boots is receiving thus far is fair? Now, and the reason why I say that is because, a lot of people feel it's fair. A lot of people feel like, man, I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, this ain't making no damn sense. Me, I'm the type of person like this. If you telling me that your fighter is King Kong, I need to see him in the ring with Godzilla. I'm not saying he has to fight Godzilla every fight, but bro, when you have 30-something fights, 40-something fights, and you fighting Snarf from Thundercats, you're fighting Mr. Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street, you're fighting Big Bird, you're fighting doggone Mojo Jojo of the Powerpuff Girls, then to me, that's an issue. It's an issue to me. It's really not an issue, but it's an issue when you have a fan base or your supporters trying to sell me, coming to me, because if it's important for them that I view their fighter the way they want me to view them, then you best believe that, okay, I'm going to look with a fine-tooth comb. And when I look with a fine-tooth comb and I don't see what your supporters are saying that you are, then I'm like, fam, I don't see it. You know what I mean? Stop trying to convince me that what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. You get what I'm saying? Don't shit on my plate and tell me it's meatloaf. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. I don't see that. However, now, the question I have is, do you guys think that the criticism is warranted? Do you think that, you know what, man, this is just a little bit too much? Do you think that he's receiving the same type of hate that Terrence Crawford received in the past, or even receiving now? You know what I mean? Well, I ain't gonna say now, because Crawford don't really receive the hate like that now. I mean, you still have the people who hate Crawford still hate him. You know what I mean? We already know who it is. The Fagnons, the Shigos, you know what I mean? The Janitor Fardies, those guys, they still gonna do what they gonna do. That's what they do. They committed. They are committed to hating other black fighters. But however, that's neither here nor there. But do you guys think that, Jaron Boots Ennis is getting like, damn, dog, we know he ain't fight nobody, but everybody's scared of him. According to Eddie Hearn, everybody's terrified of Boots.
I want to touch on Jaron Ennis' return to Philadelphia October 11th against Wisma Lima. Your thoughts on the reception, because it feels like UK side were happy with it, American side they're
because look, if you know Lima,
yeah,
you know it's a great fight. If you don't know Lima, you go Lima who. That's how it works. Yeah. The reality is we needed a fight at 154 that was going to test Jaron Ennis. And Lima beats 90% of the people we approach. 8 fighters turned this down for massive money. No one wants to fight Jaron Ennis, but Lima will. He's top 10 with 3 governing bodies. He's, I think, 10 on BoxRec. He's the IBO world champion. This is a WBA final eliminator. This is a brilliant fight. But you get lazy journalists who go, oh, Lima's a bit disappointed. It's like, have you ever watched him? No, I mean, I've seen his record. It's like, well, do you know that in his last, I think, 3 fights, he went into the away corner for undefeated guys and turned them over? He's a serious fighter, and I want someone that's coming to win, and Lima will give us a great fight.
Do you feel like the patience runs thin with Jaron Ennis though? Because many people feel like, for a guy who's 34-0, barring maybe Stanionis.
Yeah, but he's just coming off.
Yeah.
He fought the best welterweight in the world,
exactly,
bar him, in a big unification, won that. Yeah. Now we're moving up to 54, and the team said, look, we're going to be in massive fights at 54. We would like one fight before we fight Ortiz, Crawford, whoever signs up to take the fight. But after Lima, God willing we come through that, he will fight anybody. And he's signed to do it within his extension with us. So, I'm relaxed, and I know it's going to be a great fight. This isn't a knockover job in a round. This is a proper tough fight that will let Boots have a camp at 54 and prepare himself for the biggest moments of his career.
Yeah. You mentioned Virgil Ortiz Jr. there, which you said that Boots signed to fight in our interview on Friday. But Virgil Ortiz Sr. come on Twitter, and I just wanted to read out what he said. He put, I didn't know Eddie Hearn was Virgil's manager and told Virgil when he fights. I hadn't heard anything. It's not, hey Virgil, you fight my guy when I want. That shit sailed twice. Virgil was on his own path, no matter who anyone says. No waiting for anyone anymore.
It doesn't have to wait for anyone. Yeah. We had a meeting with Golden Boy where we talked about the terms of the fight, which are very straightforward.
Is Virgil Jr. on terms with that though? Like, is he aware of?
I've not. That's not. Okay. That's not from. I don't. Yeah. He's right. I'm not his promoter or his manager.
Yeah.
But we had discussions with DAZN and Golden Boy. Brilliant discussions, and Golden Boy were right up for it. We're all moving forward, trying to make the best fights in boxing. We went away, and Jaron Ennis signed for the fight on the terms that were discussed. Okay, we all said to DAZN, we're going to fight in October, and then we'll do the fight in January, February, whenever you want. Ortiz, you're going to fight in October, and you do the fight. So I can't control whether Ortiz will fight Boots. And when I said to you the other day, it got construed. I said, we've signed. Yeah. So everyone says the fight's signed. I didn't say that. I said, we have signed our end.
Yeah.
This isn't about goading. This isn't about saying, but if you don't want to take the fight, don't give it the big one and tell us, oh, we're not waiting on Boots. You don't have to wait on Boots. DAZN have said they'll give you a fight in October. You're talking to Thurman or whoever else you're talking to, and then we'll do the fight. We're in. All you've got to do is sign for that fight now. It's done. So we'll see if Virgil Ortiz really wants to fight Boots.
According to Eddie Hearn, people are having cold sweats. They're having nightmares. They can't sleep at night. They're shaking and trembling. They're shaking in their boots. No pun intended. At the mere thought, the mere fact of having to fight a Boots. Now, this is where Eddie Hearn is being disingenuous, in my opinion. You're offering these guys $250,000, little money. And then you tell these guys, then you call in the media, oh, I offered people massive money. You're not offering people massive money, Eddie. That's a lie. That is a lie. You're not offering these guys massive money. And the interviewer doesn't do a follow-up. Like, if I was interviewing Eddie Hearn and he said, we're offering these guys massive money to fight Boots, my next question would be, okay, what type of money are you offering? Because when you say massive money, you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking millions. You can't be offering motherfuckers $5, a whole head cheese sandwich, a pork chop bone, a pack of ketchup, and then say we're offering massive money. Now, I know the argument. Well, these guys weren't making that money prior, but that's not the issue. The issue is if this guy is who you say he is, if he's Megatron reincarnated, if he's Optimus Prime reincarnated, if he's the Dinobots reincarnated, if he's Black Frieza, if he's Ultra Instinct Goku, you can't be offering Krillin, hey Krillin, I want you to fight Ultra Instinct Goku, but I'm gonna pay you $200,000. I'm gonna pay you $250,000 because the risk Because this person's life is on the line for one, right? And then the risk far outweighs the money. You're not going to get me to fight Godzilla. Again, I'm not saying Boots is Godzilla. I'm saying this is what his promoter is saying. This is what their team is saying. So if I was to take the position of what their team is saying, that this guy is Godzilla, listen, you're not going to take Snarf from the Thundercats and say, look, you're going to take this high-risk fight and you're going to fight Godzilla in his own backyard, but we're going to give you peanuts. Now, now the average person online would say, oh, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for you because your position is you are a working person. Some of you guys work 9 to 5s. Some of you guys live with your baby mamas. Some of you guys you live off of your baby mama's welfare check or your mama's social security check. But outside of that, you get what I'm saying? It's up to that individual, that fighter, to decide whether that's what he wants to do. Now, I do understand fighters like Zab. Zab said that, yeah, I fought for Undisputed for $100,000. I'm not trying to hear that, but that's what you did. Everybody's not going to do what you did, Zab. That's what you did. You did what you felt was best for you at that time. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't say that, you know what, because I did it, everybody else should have done it. Everybody's situation is different. Did you get what I'm saying? So do you guys think that, the criticism, do you feel that Boots is being hated on unjustifiably? All of that stuff there. We're hearing rumors that Virgil Ortiz is scared. We're hearing Bakram is scared. We're hearing Fundora is scared. Crawford was scared. Even though Boots, even though Blue Bloods blowed that shit up with the BLK when he was over there BLK Prime, but that's neither here nor there. We hear that Errol Spence was scared. We're hearing everybody was scared. Mothra, Gamera, King Kong, the Hulk, Superman, the Justice League, the Legion of Doom. Everybody's just terrified. So we're hearing all of this stuff, right? So is it fair to criticize Boots or, for not landing any big fights? This is going to be his 36th fight of nobodies, right? So is it fair to criticize Boots of, well, he did beat Stanley Onis, but Stanley Onis wasn't nobody. He ain't have a 14, 15 fights. So I've never thought highly of Stanley Onis myself. I'm just saying me. I never thought highly of him. He was a PBC hype job, like a lot of those guys, in my opinion. But yeah, he had a belt and all that stuff there. But guess what? All champions are not created equal. Just because you have a title don't really mean having a title in today's time don't mean what it meant back then. Because when you had a title back then, it really meant something because you went through the gauntlet to get that belt. In today's time, it doesn't take much to get a belt. Doesn't take much to be a champion. So when people say, you know what, man, titles don't really mean nothing in today's time. When I hear Tank say that, when I hear other fighters who have belts or have belts say that, man, the belts really don't mean nothing. I used to give them pushback on that, but now I understand where they are coming from now. This is a different time. This is a different era. So this era is nothing like the era of the past. The era of the past, those guys took pride in America anyways in winning titles and championship fights because they had to fight top guys to get it. In today's time, you can fight Papa Smurf and become a champion. You don't need, you can get emailed the belt. Some of these guys are email champions. They've been emailed the belt. You've got mail. Don't have to fight for a title. And next thing yeah, man, I'm a champion. So, then you got a million belts. You got the IBO title. Shout out to the IBO, but that's a minor title, this and that. And, Boots will become a 2-division world champion once he beat Lima. I just looked at some footage of Lima. His name is Wisma Lima. I thought it was Wisma, but it's Wisma Lima. The U and the I is the U in that situation is Wisma. So Wisma Lima being, he has the IBO title. But I looked at some fights. I did. I looked at the fights where he fought the guy from the UK, McKenna. I looked at another fight where he fought a guy from South Africa. There's not a lot of footage on this guy. And I'm going to tell you something. Boots going to beat the brakes off this dude. He's flat-footed. He's a southpaw, though. He's a southpaw. He's flat-footed, but he's slow. And he doesn't have the best defense in the world. And he's a pressure fighter. And yeah, he's like 6 feet tall, but Boots is almost 6 feet tall. His damn self. Boots like 5'10", 5'11". He's like an inch. He's like an inch shorter than the guy, or whatever the case may be, a couple of inches maybe. But again, Boots gonna run through this dude. I promise y'all, this gonna be one of Jaron Boots Ennis' easiest fights. He gonna run through him, literally. You get what I'm saying? And this is why Eddie Hearn picked him. But however, do you guys think that Boots is receiving unfair criticism? You know, because the other fighters have received credit. Hell, you got fighters who are 40-division world champions, 2-time undisputed. They receive criticism. So do you think that Boots is above criticism? Then Boots' team used to criticize certain guys who were 40-division world champions and 2-division undisputed. Two-division undisputed champions and other fighters, right? So, you know, and y'all know which fight I'm talking about. We ain't got to say no names. But however, so now it's like the roles have switched. And again, it's shocking to me that pro PR Philadelphia channels, and when you look under the comment section, you have fans under those in the comment section of those channels are ripping Boots. Is it fair to do that? You know, do we have too much expectations for this guy? He's not Bernard Hopkins. He's not Benny Briscoe, any of those guys of the past, the old school Philly fighters. He's not that. Is it fair to put that type of pressure on him? You know, let Eddie Hearn, let Team Boots do what they need to do, build his record up more, pad his record a little bit more, and then in time, maybe he would be able to take these fighters who they say are so scared, are so terrified, are so you know, they just, you know, they you know, they're scared to come outside. As R.I.P. to Mo 3. What Mo 3 say? What Mo 3 say? They're scared to come outside. They said a lot of these dudes scared to come outside because he is Roy Jones 2.0, right? So do you think it's fair to give Boots that type of criticism or even hate? You know, because some people are interpreted as hate. You know what I mean? It's amazing that the same people who say people are hating on Boots were the same ones who hated on other a certain black fighter. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's amazing. You know, they can dish the hate, but now they can't take it. I understand that. I get it. But do you guys think that is fair? As you can see right here, guys, and listen, to prove my point, let me show you what I'm talking about. As you can see right here, look right here. It says Jesus Ramos just dropped a bombshell and said that they never sent them an offer. Instead, they sent his uncle Abel Ramos an offer at 147 to bring him up in weight. This is getting embarrassing at this point. This is a YSM Sports Media channel. a PR YouTube channel for Boots, right? Here we go. This guy say, Jaron the Can Man Ennis, all tuna and tomato cans can get it. This guy says, bro said he wanted to fight the big names at 154 when he was at 147. Boots, that dog. He said Boots, that dog that barks. I guess he's trying to say Boots is the dog that barks behind the fence, but when the gate comes open, he's quiet as hell. So I get what he's trying to say. This guy said 34 fights in, and this is what we're doing. This guy says his tune-up badge of Hall of Fame. So I guess he's trying to say Boots has a tune-up Hall of Fame. This guy says, let's see who's at 154. Ortiz, Marjamal, Fandor, Mutalavev. I guess this is on Bakram. Boychuk, Tim Tszyu, Ramos, Lubin, Charlo maybe, Xander Zayas, Mendoza, Thurman. He said any one of these would have been acceptable. But according to Team Boots and according to Team Boots and Eddie Hearn, all of these names that I just mentioned are terrified and terrified to fight Boots, according to Eddie Hearn. This guy says the hype has come to an end, brother. This guy says you can tell this interviewer has a personal relationship with Boots. This guy says Shoes is ducking. So he won't even call him Boots, he called him Shoes. This guy says Boots going to ask Eddie, can he move Stanionis and Karen up to 154 so he can fight them two next. This guy says he be fighting people we never heard of. This guy says Boots' own words, I won all of the big fights. Out of all of the guys to pick, Turkey came out last week and said that they can't find another fighter to fight Bakram Mutalazev. And Turkey said Boots told him he needed some meaning plural, tune-up fights. And don't even mention Crawford's name. He said Crawford took a year off and moved up to 54 and immediately fought for a belt. Now, I will say this here. Boots is fighting for a belt, just like Terrence Crawford. He's fighting for the IBO belt, the IBO championship belt. I don't know nothing about that belt, I'm just being honest with you, but it's a belt. He's fighting for the IBO, so technically he's doing what Crawford is doing. He's fighting the champion. Let's continue. This guy right here says if Boots was a vehicle, he would be in immaculate condition with all those tune-ups. This guy say a bunch of tune-ups on his resume. Like Sean Porter said, Boots is overrated. This guy said, y'all deserve a raise. He said, you and GH, meaning Gregory Hackett. He said, y'all sold Boots to the world as a phenom that can destroy everybody, and he got paid for it before proving anything. Let's see what else he says. Now he is content with hyping up C-level fighters to stunt on. He said, can't lie, y'all. Y'all did that. This is what the people are saying under a pro-Philadelphia, pro-Jaron Boots Ennis channel. PR channel, right? This guy say, damn, YSM, Boots looking terrible out here. I've been trying not to listen to the noise, but now Jesus Ramos saying he never got an offer, never received an offer, so to speak. It was his uncle at 147. That's not good. I get Boots is quiet, but damn, bro, he got to clear this up. Absolutely nothing positive being said about Boots right now. So this is what's going on right now online under a pro Boots Ennis channel. These are the comments. I can show you more. I can show you more under the Greg Hackett interview with YSM. I can go to Blue Blood Sports TV YouTube channel on any comment, any video that he's made of Jaron Boots Ennis, and look at the comment section. I love the comment section. The comment section tells you what the people are thinking. So do you guys think this is fair? Do you think the people are being irrational, or do you think the people have a valid point? Catch you guys on the next one. You know my motto, don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.